So you need to know how to create a good SOP. This video, I'm going to answer 4 key questions for you. First of all, why is it worth going through the effort of creating an SOP in the first place? Second, how do you go about documenting your process for the very first time? Third, what are the good mediums to use when you're trying to be mindful of yourself as the creator and also your learners? And lastly, how to maintain or keep up with those mediums when you're changing and learning daily. Let's start with why it's worth actually creating an SOP in the first place. So, let's say you're a service provider, like a coach or a physical therapist. You're amazing at what you do. In fact, you've done it for so long, you couldn't even begin to show someone how you do what you do. Well, therein lies the problem. That means you're stuck. That means you can't grow. And that means it's really, really hard to get some help. Ultimately, creating an SOP is the best way for entrepreneurs or leaders to grow and to scale their team. When you unsecret your sauce, you're able to share what you do, how you do it so well, and how to create anticipatable results. Also, having a process is really the best way to build your confidence as a leader and your ability to create results on demand. Everything is figure outable. So, choosing to figure out how to create the best SOP possible, ultimately, is choosing expansion, growth, flow, and ease. Choosing not to, because it's too hard, is choosing to stay stuck and ultimately being overworked. A good SOP has 3 defining qualities. First of all, it's simple, clear, and easy to follow. It produces the desired result, and it's regularly iterated upon and updated. So when you're creating an SOP for the very first time, you just need to know it's not a one and done situation. This is something that's going to happen continuously. It's an ongoing process of self-awareness and transformation. What I mean by that is self-awareness is recognizing the results and the habits that you're doing on a regular basis. Simply being aware and able to capture that. The transformation piece is then taking that awareness, that knowing, and converting it into digestible documents that can be used to create the desired outcome. You and your team will grow the more frequently you decide to drop down into the moment and capture your daily interactions. I'm talking about meetings, decisions, activities. If you don't have a regular note taker, or if you aren't the regular note taker, level up. This is definitely something that will shortcut your process into creating excellent SOPs, because then you can transform that information and synthesize it into digestible resources like work aids. So say, for example, you had a meeting, you all made a decision, and simply the act of having a productive meeting is something that you can then turn into a work aid and use as an onboarding tool for your next hire. So let's say you're thinking about what mediums should I use. You all know I believe in web-based tools. Hands down. I love Google. It's really, really easy because it updates automatically. It's easy to collaborate with individuals and teams in real time. But you want to consider, what are your personal strengths as a creator? And also, what are the needs of the individuals who are going to be using your tool? So I want to say most people learn best by doing. They also really learn best by being able to read something, follow along, and then apply it. Video is really great too. Obviously, you can use things in Google like the Google Word document or the spreadsheets or what have you. And you can really save time by creating something in a hub and organizing it that way so people can access it easily. Another medium that you can use is video. So I love using Zoom or a product called Loom, Loom. I use them in the same way, where basically I record myself and I screen share what I'm doing so that I can demonstrate what it is I would talk out. Personally, I'm more comfortable with talking things. I can type, it's fine. I can write, But sometimes it's just easier to talk it out. If that's a shortcut for you, lean into that. Use that. There are tools that can make your personal strength be the thing that you use to document that process. So whatever you're comfortable with, if you're better at writing, if you're better at talking, whatever that is, there are tools available so that you can capture that and make it easy for you. If you're going to do a video, I'd recommend keeping it less than 10 minutes because, you know, we live in a social media age and people have short attention spans. Okay, so let's say you have your hub and now you're like, okay, great. Whew, I did that. This is how I do it. And then next week you learn something new and you need to update it. And before you know it, that entire hub is out of date. That's not what we want. So to maintain it, there's a couple practices that you want to just infuse into your workflow that will really make keeping and maintaining your SOPs a piece of cake. First of all, like I said, practice incorporating documentation into your daily routine. So if you are engaging with people, if you're having a meeting, take notes. That is literally something you can come back to and then synthesize and transform later. Don't miss out on that. Secondly, title and date everything, especially if you're using Google Drive and you're saving things in folders. If you just put the date and the title of what's inside that document in there, let's say you're ready to outsource that and you want someone else to go back and update that for you. They can find it or you can find it a lot more easily. The third thing is when you're moving at a rapid pace, I understand sometimes you can't also move, record, and update at the same time, but make it a practice or a habit that once a month, once a quarter, you go back, you look at your resources, you review them, and you figure out, okay, what have I learned this month that I can incorporate into this? We do not learn by doing, believe it or not. We will learn by reflecting on what was done. That's how you really solidify your wins as a business owner. That's how you really solidify your learnings. And then you can incorporate that. And it makes it a lot more easy to manage and to keep up with your documentation. I hope this was helpful. If it was, like, subscribe, and please comment below. I would love to hear from you.